What we're most excited about in this heat is the amount of power that could be unloaded, particularly by Michel Bourez and Coffin, two of the best rail surfers on tour. Jadson Andre, he's going to be able to create a bit of a point of difference with that nice backhand vertical approach that he has, which has scored well here the last couple of years.
That young, all of these guys, it's been amazing to see what happens here in this heat.
Well, here goes Jadson now. Just a quick wave for him.
You know, whatever it may be, you got to fix it. And when you come back, you can't make that same mistake.
Well, here is the top seed in this first heat of the Quiksilver Pro, Michel Bourez. Number 6 on the ratings last year, and opened this right off with a big, powerful arc. Cutting back now. And looking for that inside connection. We saw Steph Gilmore tap into it in that last heat of round 1 for the Roxy Pro. And Michel has found that link and is getting some points racked up here.
It grows into this perfect wave.
Coffin, his second year on the championship tour. He takes a fall there. He is rebounding from injury to lock in the best score in the opening stages. He's been busy so far. This is a better looking wall. He's trying to get that vertical approach happening here. Beautiful conditions at Snapper Rocks this morning for day 1 of competition. There's Andre.
Really is kind of a warm-up session.
Well, here goes Michel Bourez. Went on the attack on that first turn, a high-risk maneuver, unsuccessful.
The rock, you know, and every time a set comes, a surge just pulls you off the point. As we watch this decision being made here from Jadson Andre, he saw down the line how clean this wall was going to be and just executed beautiful backhand snaps, turns. He knows that variety. I mean, this guy studies the criteria to a T. So he always is trying to apply it to each and every venue, what he can do to show a point of difference. And he's done that.
He's got an interesting style too, hasn't he, Jadson? We'll talk more about that in a moment, but let's check out the replay of Michel's first ride. Still waiting on the numbers for this one.
So powerful. You know, he lays into his turns. There's so much water coming off his rail. Again, he knows that that's going to be his forte, is that power. So strong, super fit. So he applies that as a strength in his surfing, you know, and he's been a very consistent competitor. His first years getting 9th, so he was always guaranteed that 9th, you know, and that's into round 4, which is always going to be kind of in that qualifications picture. No, never worrying about being out of that. And then now figured out how to win, you know, and I think that, you know, Michel, what can he do to change to become a real true title contender? You know, I think if he could break through his home turf at Tahiti, I think that would help. But, you know, all the other venues, he's super strong.
Won the last event on the schedule in 2016, the Pipe Masters, a big feather in Michel's cap. Here goes Coffin once again. You can see that knee that I spoke about. He's wearing a brace, it looks like, or it's heavily strapped. But he looks like he's going to connect with something down the line here. Has groomed that forehand approach on long-running right-handers back home. This wave's just starting to fatten up a little bit now.
And again, he really hasn't been able to get on his surfboard until right before this event. So he's going to be kind of figuring stuff out here in these first 2 heats. You see, wave choice could have been better. I think, you know, it's really important. I think the judges will take note too that when you take off out here, it's always nice to see down the line and go, okay, this thing's going to build, but you got to get that first maneuver. You know, you got to get that first solid, strong maneuver out of the gates right off the bottom. That's really going to substantiate the score, and then it builds down the line. This one, kind of a slow start, good middle, but then the end was a little slow. So this is going to be a mid-range score.
Michel Bourez take off under the lip here. He's been putting in the time in the free surfing sessions, Michel, but that wave, it doesn't turn into anything down the line. He kicks out, but willing to take a chance. Bit of foam on the face here for Jadson Andre. He's just biding his time here, waiting for this thing to stand up. And now that it's steepened, he's able to go rail to rail and throw down some decent maneuvers. We really haven't seen anything overly exciting just yet. I feel like this heat's just begging to be blown open by one of these competitors. But I'm going to get you to touch on Jadson's style, Pete, because it is pretty unique for someone who's on their backhand. Having your front foot over the inside rail as opposed to more centered on the board can sometimes be a hindrance because you can't get on top of that.
Well, as you can see here in the replay, where his footing is, you're right. It is, so it's almost like just the ball of his foot is over the stringer. So again, shifted much more onto the rail, especially on his backhand. And he tucks that back knee up. So a lot of the steering is coming from that back leg. And he's been able to kind of negotiate, and what he'll do is be able to sink that rail. He rides a wider board for a guy his size because he's a smaller dude.
Against these two deep rail surfers, as we see Connor up once again, a little caught behind.
You saw his brace there slip down, so that knee playing a little bit of a role in this heat, being that just affected him. You see he had to kind of slide it back up. And I think it's just a protection. When you have the right on the kneecap, if it touches, your knee, as you see the replay here, almost right on the top of the point. This one looked like it was going to have a quality section, but then unfortunately there, and you saw the whitewater just come down and push that brace down. I would agree.
Here we go, Michel Bourez taking off now. Back to live action, chasing. Just a 3.7 to get himself into the lead here. Pacing himself, waiting for this wave to do a thing.
So Jadson here picked up a wave during the break. Little foamy section, but he saw down the line it was going to grow. The grower is there, and there he gets nice and vertical with the lip. That's that steep section. A little stuck as he came out of it, so that's going to affect the score. And again, his wave choice has been impeccable. He's been able to find the canvas, but you were mentioning, where that foot placement on his board affects that top turn, and it's something that he has, and he likes that steeper section. This is the barrel ride here from Michel Bourez, and he did disappear from view, so that'll be taken into account. It's a little bit more difficult when you get behind the curtain and you're in the barrel there like that. If you see the nose of the board, generally you're not going to see the score.
Pretty decent position, and here he goes. Last year's world number 6. Nice drawn out moves. The wave stands up, able to drift those fins for just a moment without losing speed. He maintains that down the line flow and looking for more. Couple of bumps to deal with, no problem for Michel as he kicks out way down the line.
There wasn't a lot of sand to be able to accumulate, to move, so they've had to be creative in getting the sand here.
Well, Connor Coffin's knee is being tested here. A huge drop into a big frontside snap. This wave, it just tapers off very quickly though. Doesn't connect through to that inside, and Connor, he throws his head back in disgust. And he's opted to tap into that. So doing some work with Glenn Hall through the off season and working with him at the moment here. Here goes Jadson Andre. Jadson's just hustling out there at the moment. He's got himself the lead, and he's looking to increase it by getting rid of a 5. He's had some pretty decent turns here as well. He's always going to be
on your comments about coaching as we watch the replay here first. I'll get back to that, but again, you can see what he's been looking for. It's those waves that are going to grow down the line, and that was a nice 2-turn combo as he went straight up vertical, and then the hook snap, and then the roundhouse cut back again. Now he starts to steepen up. He goes back into that kind of combination of moves where he's hooking it very quick in transition. But you're right about that foot. It's just it's a little bit unique to anybody else that I've ever seen before. In trying to add to yourself and to improve yourself.
Here's Jadson once again. Looks like he's really starting to feel the confidence now. He has a different way of prepping them for heats. He doesn't apply the same formula to each surfer. Michel Bourez up at the moment and getting extremely piped out here at Snapper Rocks. Let's see if he can find some more points on the inside here. This wave, he's just sticking with it. Leaning hard on the rail there. Doesn't get the double up though.
Although in that women's heat you would think so, so it's kind of a unique.
Here goes Connor Coffin. Linking this medium-sized wave through to the inside. winding through some stylish turns there and displacing quite a bit of water. There's a mix-up. And he really carved hard. So Connor getting his best ride.
Connor doesn't move his body. He just lays it in the rail.
Here's Michel with a steeper little wall on the inside. This wave just allowing him to mix up his approach a little bit more. Change up his manoeuvres, show the judges a bit of variety. Starting to fade away now. This heat is coming to a close, and we'll be waiting for numbers to come through. Connor, he might have left his charge just a little late. He was chasing a pretty big number, a 7.46. Michel Bourez, just a casual reverse to finish this heat off. And, well, maybe that's going to be the case here in 2017 as well.
Well, it looks like Jaddy, you know, the underdog, may hold on here. As you watch the replay of this wave, again, down the line, seeing that it had some opportunity here, but, you know, it just didn't come up. It wasn't the 5.8.
4.60, so Michel Bourez doesn't get the required score, and Jadson Andre is on his way to the third round. An impressive performance, and really started to put together some great combinations at the midway point of that heat. So Jadson's moving on. We've got another big battle unfolding in just a moment.